Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Modeling League's Dungeon Bowl. We're in week number 5 of 7 in this final open competition of the season. And we've got strength versus speed for you tonight. Tonight, it's going to be the Goodest boys versus the Deadly Biscuits. Old Gamer Mike versus Run Bad. Necro versus Black Orcs. Wow. Old Gamer Mike, thank you so very much for the sub. It's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much, and good luck tonight. Yeah, this is going to be a great matchup tonight. I'm really excited for this. I'm glad we're here in week 5. It's been really fun watching the season shape up, watching the new coaches participate in the league, watching how coaches field these new teams here for Blood Bowl 3 as well. Let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at those two rosters. I think it's going to be a great matchup tonight. In Division A, currently in first place, wouldn't you know it, it's the league champion, Doug the Minotaur and his White Skull Windbreakers. They're an Orc team. They are 2-2-0. And in second place, a Kind Sirs, Kind Peacocks. They're an Imp team. They are 2-1-1. The third place team is up against the Goodest boys this evening. The Deadly Biscuits, currently in third place, undefeated as well. One of 2 undefeated teams left in Division A. El Numerino, thank you so very much for the sub. Thank you for your generosity, sir. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate it. Good luck to you as well tonight. Very kind. Thank you very much. In Division B, currently in first place is JD Whitey's Forest of Flames. They're a Wood Elf team. 4-0-0 is their record here in this competition. They are followed by BB Nuts Harlequins, BBFC. They're an Undead team. 2-0-1 is their record. And in Division C, Nick Satan's Cenozoic Park, also undefeated with a record of 3-0. Whoa! 3-0-0 is their record. They're a Lizardman team. Wow, 5 gift subs from Old Gamer Mike. Unbelievable. Thank you very, very much. Wow. Wow. Thank you very much. In second, wow, I appreciate it very much. Thank you very, very much. Tizzle Bizzle is in second place. The Tizzork Savage Boys, an Orc team, 1-3-0 is their record. 3 undefeated teams left here in Division C. Ian Street Fighter Turbo Max also undefeated. They're in third place. A Chaos Renegades team, 1-2-0 is their record. Oh, Gamer Mike kicking off the hype train. Thank you again to everybody here this evening. Thank you for all the subs. And welcome to the stream. Goodest boys, they're up tonight. Speaking of Old Gamer Mike, with the generosity, has also got his feet to the fire here tonight. They're going to be the home team. They're coming in a TV of 1,095,000 gold. They have 12 players on the roster, 2 Flesh Golems, 2 Werewolves, 2 Ghoul Runners, a Wraith, and a bunch of Zombos. 1 dedicated fan, 2 rerolls. They're going to be up against the Black Orcs of the Deadly Biscuits. They are coming in a TV of 975,000 gold. 11 players on this roster, a trained troll, 6 of the Black Orcs, a bunch of Gobos on the roster, 2 dedicated fans, 2 rerolls. That's a TD diff, or not a TD diff, a TV diff of 120k if I did my math right. We'll talk about how Run Bad might spend that petty cash in just a second. This matchup tonight is strength versus speed, straight up. So we can see the Deadly Biscuits here. They have the Trained Trolls, strength of 5. They have the 6. I'm sorry, this. No, I got my math right. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First of all, I like how I called summing 1 6 times as my math. as if I just wrote a paper on how to add 1. There are 6 Black Orcs on the roster. They all have a strength of 4 as well. They have Grab, they have Brawler, and then of course the Goblins. The Goblins are frail with an AV of 8+. They have a strength of 2, so they're weak as well. These Black Orcs with that strength, right, with Grab, with Brawler, these make these mighty, mighty players. So strength of 4, obviously, that's strong. He has Brawler, which is a poor man's block. That's not bad either. And I think Grab is going to be very useful in this matchup tonight because they're up against this Necro team. So the Necro team, these are 2 fairly fresh teams. They're fresh for this competition, I believe. They might be. So the Goodest boys, right, low in TV as well. Not a lot of skills on the roster. But they have these werewolves, MA8, right? They have the Ghoul Runners, MA7. They have a Wraith, MA6, lots of speed on this roster. And to make matters worse, these werewolves have Claw and they have Frenzy. All those orcs on the Black Orc team, they have AV 10+. That is a lot of armor. Well, not anymore. Not where these werewolves are. These werewolves have Frenzy. They're going to be getting 4 die blocks, and they're going to be breaking armor at 8+. These are going to be pieces that not only can keep the sidelines off limits, or else a Deadly Biscuit's going to get surfed, or well, they can do that, but they can also just try to start removing players with Claw and Frenzy. Very, very powerful pieces, and probably the star pieces for the Goodest boys on this roster. But otherwise, they have a lot of speed, and that means they have the speed advantage, and that means they're going to play a little more like a speed-oriented team against this matchup. They don't want to go toe-to-toe with the Deadly Biscuits, because even though the Deadly Biscuits don't have block, they do have Brawler. Brawler means on a both down result, you can re-roll that die in a die pool. And you can use this in 2 different ways. Let's say you roll a skull and a both down. All right, well then you get a free re-roll on the both down result. You can keep the drive alive. But let's say you get a push and a both down. Well, the push will keep your drive alive. That'll keep you safe. But now you can hunt for that POW. You can re-roll the both down, maybe try to get that POW instead. So a pretty decent skill, I think, at level 1 and 90k to pick up, and pair that with grab. Grab is the inverse of sidestep. And so you can grab players to move them out of position, but I think more importantly, the Deadly Biscuits can use that skill to move players to block lanes, right? They can use a player that maybe was going to act as a pivot, or maybe was going to act as a particularly annoying assist, and just get them out of the way, and then start setting up the chain blocks or fill in a gap and start to break the opposing formation apart. The Deadly Biscuits are going to be trying to murder the Necro team tonight. The Necro team is going to be trying to leverage their speed to be able to score and prevent the Deadly Biscuits from scoring. They're got a kicker, which makes that a lot easier, right? The Deadly Biscuits are mostly MA4, whereas the Goodest boys, they have a lot of MA4 on the roster, but they've got these 5 speedy players on the roster as well. They can use that kicker to kick the ball deep if they need to, just to stall out time and prevent those big black orcs from getting into the end zone just by basically timer scamming it, right? You have 2 or 3 turns left, kick it deep, they'll never get into the end zone unless they're going to risk their goblins. Otherwise, if he needs to get the ball back and try to win this game, maybe it's a tie game, maybe he's behind, he can do an onside kick and try to leverage his speed against the Black Orcs to get in a position around that ball before the Black Orcs can get there and start to set up protection on it. That's another option for him. That's why kick is such a good skill in the game, and one that's often slept on. He does have the Ghoul Runners with a lot of speed as well, and he's got this Wraith. He picked up the Guard Skull on this Wraith, so this Wraith is an annoyance, is a pest. They can't be a ball carrier, they don't have any hands, but with block and guard, that means he can come in for the blitz. That sidestep means he can stay where he wants to be, marking whoever he wants to mark. And guard means when he comes in on that blitz, he's an automatic assist for someone else, and that's a way to get the chain blocks off. But if Old Gamer Mike can find a way to leverage foul appearance, so if he can get Jack Goodman into a position where Run Bad really needs to consider taking the block, or even better, taking the blitz on this Wraith, and that foul appearance roll fails, the block is wasted, the blitz is wasted. So it's going to come down to clever use of these key pieces, the Black Orcs for the Black Orc team, the Werewolves, the Wraith, and even the Ghoul Runners just for the speed alone for the Goodest boys. Whoever can do that will come out on top tonight. One thing we don't often talk about is the fundamentals as well. Normally that's implied, but in this matchup in particular, so 120k in petty cash will be going to the Deadly Biscuits. Now, you can see the bribes, because he has goblins on the roster, he could pick up 2 bribes. Oh, he is going to pick up the bribes. I thought he might go for the extra team training instead and bring the rerolls up to 3. So he's going to pick up a bribe, a keg. Oh, I would never have guessed that. So he is going to pick up a bribe. He only has 11 players on the roster, though. He doesn't have a bench, and he doesn't have the Fowler, which is why I thought maybe he wouldn't go in on the bribes, but he did pick up a bribe. So we'll see. That's going to be the way to keep a player alive on the pitch, but there's still a 1/6 chance that they're going to get called off on a single die roll. So we'll see if that bribe works out for the Black Orc team here. The Goodest boys won the coin toss, and they're going to set up on defense to set up. Now, the fundamentals are going to be particularly important in this game, and that's because fundamentals are always important, but in this particular matchup, neither team has the rerolls to waste. Neither team has the reserve bench. Anybody in the reserve bench. Neither team has a lopsided advantage in the matchup, and so you know, if you have some significant advantage in some way, you could get a little lackadaisical with your fundamentals, or even maybe get a little more risky because the reward's that much greater, and the potential for a catastrophic failure is that much less. That's not the case in this matchup. Neither team really has that buffer to make that happen, so they're going to have to be on point with their fundamentals as well. That means making sure they're doing their action orders correctly. They're starting off with their safest actions and slowly working through to their more risky actions. That means keeping their players where they need to be. These two flesh golems withstand firm. Hey, Ninja Gloppy, thank you very much for the bits. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. These flesh golems are going to act as anchors. They are going to just stay in place and control the pitch with those 8 tackle zones. And on offense, this Necro team is going to try to form up a cage, form up an offense around them. On defense, they're going to try to hold down the pitch and set up their formation around it. And all these fundamentals are going to be absolutely crucial in this matchup. So 5 on the line for the offense, 3 for the defense. Jamie Blodger back to receive. Here's the kick to start the game. Bad Dog says every goblin's a fouler. Fair enough, but he only has 11 on the roster. So he's going to get a free opportunity to try to catch this ball on the 4+. It works out. Now turn 1 for the Deadly Biscuits. Jamie Blodger with the free catch is going to move up to the 10-yard line. And now maybe some positioning for some protection, and then we'll get some blocks on the line. Nope. Block on the right defensive end to start with. And you can see that's exactly what we talked about in the pregame. He rolled a push. He rolled a both down. The push was safe. Took the chance on re-rolling the both down with Brawler. Still got a both down, so he's fine. Drive stays alive. Here's the other opportunity. Oh, no. Here's the other opportunity. So both examples of the pregame came up here. Didn't work out this time. So a quick down here for the Deadly Biscuits. So you can see, rolled a skull into a both down, said, fine, I'll spend the Brawler instead of the reroll because he only has the 2 rerolls. But the problem is, once you reroll, you're done. So he rerolled the 1 die. You can't reroll a die pool more than once. So he couldn't spend the reroll, the team reroll, and that's a turnover. Got a new phone. I've been playing with it all day. I didn't get a new phone. I got a new phone. A cell carrier. It's all new. 2-die block in the left wide zone. Wow. Nuffle has a sense of humor here this evening. Spends a reroll on the blitz. Gets a push out of this on nice biscuits. The number 7 Black Orc, nice biscuits. Yeah, I bought a new computer some weeks ago. I got a new phone. It's just new stuff, new toys. I had a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, gave me his collection of old white dwarves, which I love. We're playing a Warhammer game. I love White Dwarf. So I was very grateful for that. I'm very excited to flip through those. So the Goodest boys committing a considerable amount of players over the left side of the pitch here. A reroll on a block on Bourbon Creams, rather, is going to be a push. Bad Dog 013 says sidestep won't work against grab. That's a very good point. Sidestep and grab negate each other. Grab is like the inverse sidestep. Or don't negate each other, but but grab negates sidestep. One die block on the troll here gets a push. And now turn 2 for the Deadly Biscuits. So the Deadly Biscuits with an opportunity here to open up a lane. They're going to protect the ball first. They move the ball up to the 6-yard line. Armor break on the right defensive end. That's a KO. One-man player advantage now for the Deadly Biscuits. And I have my eye exam on Monday, so I'm going to take the opportunity to update my prescription and probably get a new pair of glasses as well. Troll with the projectile vomit. Didn't break armor. 2-die blitz here against Alf, the number 10 zombie. Gets a push, repositions the blitzer. So what the offense is doing here, you can see where the ball is protected, right? Here's the pocket, here's the cage. He's setting up the future turns here. Here's your next cage. And he can start marching players down in this fashion, right? They don't even have to be lockstep, right? He can anchor off a player, maybe this strength 4 player, and then set up the cage here. Or even commit to the wide zone if he wishes. Turn 2 now for the Goodest boys. Every time I say Goodest boys, I think of the Dukes of Hazzard. Just a good old boys, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curve. All right, I won't sing this. I won't sing the theme song anymore. 2-die block, 2-die blitz. Into a frenzy follow-up, gets a knockdown here on Gobnob. Claw's not a factor here. AV's already an 8+, gets the knockdown, does not break armor. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law would allow. All right, I lied. I sang a little bit more of the theme song. Goodest boys applying heavy pressure on the right side of the pitch, but they're giving, on the left side of the pitch, I should say, but they are completely giving up the right side of the pitch here. They do have Inspector Villiers. I said I was going to know how to pronounce that. Bad Dog says Dukes of Hazzard was legit. I loved it as a kid. I remember for one Christmas, I got Lincoln Logs and the General Lee. If you're unfamiliar, the General Lee was the name of the car in Dukes of Hazzard. And I built a log cabin out of the Lincoln Logs. And then I had the General Lee. And I was clearly gearing up to smash it through the Lincoln Logs. And my dad didn't want me to do it because he wanted to take a picture of the cabin. And I just remember, clear as day, I made the horn sound of the General Lee. I was like, it just ran it right through the Lincoln Logs. Good armor break by the Black Orcs here. Another removal, 2-man player advantage down for the Deadly Biscuits. So the Deadly Biscuits with a wide open pitch here. Yeah, so they'll go back to center pitch. They're going to keep their movement options open. And that ball is going to move all the way up to the opposing 8-yard line. Armor break by the troll. Another removal. 3-man player advantage now for the Deadly Biscuits. 3 KOs. Yeah, I mean, what... I imagine a lot of us did. Bad Dogs used to have the general lead myself. Good 3+ dodge. And now 2-die on David Kessler. Re-rolls with Brawler into a push. So the number 3 Werewolf really being pushed way out of this drive. Turn 3 for the Goodest boys. They're going to move in the kicker for the assist. The 2-die block on Bourbon Creams will be a POW. Looking for a big 10+ here. He's got it. Got the removal. 2-man player advantage now for the Deadly Biscuits. If the Deadly Biscuits win tonight, they will advance into first place. Another removal! Wow! And now the tables are turning. 2 of the 6 Black Orcs removed on this drive. A 1-man player advantage now for the Deadly Biscuits. Frenzy Blitz gets a POW on Gobnob. No armor break here. Now remember, these KOs are going to be a 4+ for the Goodest boys, but just a 3+ for the Deadly Biscuits. They did pick up a keg. I've discovered these apples called Sugar Bee apples. They're at my local supermarket called Wegmans. And they are the most delicious apples I've ever had in my entire life. I don't want to eat any other apples anymore. I just want these Sugar Bee apples. Turn 4 now for the Deadly Biscuits. They're continuing to just march unhindered down pitch. They're currently on the opposing 8-yard line. We're finding the back right corner of the cage marked by the number 1 Flesh Golem. It's 4v4 at the moment. Cage is going to get set up in the left wide zone. Ball's going to move one more space down pitch. The Deadly Biscuits are going to try to stall this out till turn 8. And now the blitz on the Ghoul Runner. Got the POW here. Hunting these ghouls. Breaks. Yeah, there it is. Ghoul's a very important piece. Remember, they're that speedy piece with an MA of 7, the second fastest on the roster. And they only have an AV of 8+, and they do not have regen. So if you can take a ghoul off the pitch, that is absolutely worth it. And now 4 removals for the Biscuits. Final turn of the first quarter coming up. The Goodest boys well behind the ball at this point. With that big committal to the left wide zone, the offense said, sure, you can have that left wide zone. We'll just go over to the right, and now we'll shuffle back to the left. 2-die block on Party Fling. Level 2 Goblin. Got the wrestle skill. Russell says on a both down result, you can choose to just get knocked down and have no armor break. Another removal here. What on earth? So now it's a 1-man player advantage for the Deadly Biscuits. We'll see if any of these KOs stick. Again, remember, the Goodest boys are going to have to roll a 4+, where the Deadly Biscuits only have to roll a 3+ per player on those KOs. A mark on the back left corner of the cage by Jack Goodman, the number 7 Wraith. Bad Dog says, you missed a massacre yesterday. Morgue popped off against Nevagana. So I heard. So I heard. I don't know how long the replays last in Blood Bowl 3. I think they're pretty short. If it's still there, I think what I might do is just record it and then maybe play it back at a later date, like when we need to fill a gap or something. $15 seconds left on the clock for the Goodest boys here in the final turn of the first quarter. Trying to find a way to stop this score. in a bad position to do that right now. It's going to be real tough unless Nuffle is kind. But they can continue to try to get as many removals as possible and continue to apply the pressure. And maybe Nuffle will be kind. Like that. That is another armor break and another KO. 3 Black Orcs removed from the pitch. 3 remain. Good use of the werewolf there. Claw treating that AV as if it's an 8+. Second quarter begins with the Deadly Biscuits in possession of the ball on the opposing 10-yard line in the left wide zone. Nothing but blue skies ahead of them. They're already in scoring position. Fail the really stupid chest with the troll. They will keep that result, no doubt. Indeed, they do. That troll has lost his tackle zones, so Malted Milk is going to reposition the ball carrier. Let's see, where will the ball carrier get? Probably 3 more spaces forward. Just the 2 spaces, fair enough. And now a 2-die block against Jack Goodman. Remember, has to roll foul appearance against that Wraith first. So he declared the blitz first, which meant that is it. The blitz has been declared. If he had failed that foul appearance roll and didn't re-roll it, he would not be able to blitz for the rest of the turn. Nurgle's Rot with a 15 streak. A 15 stream streak. Well, thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate having you here. Love sharing this game of Blood Bowl. Second quarter now for the Goodest boys. Their first turn of the second quarter. It's a tie ball game. They are well behind the ball. See what their plan of action is here. They're going to take the blitz on the front left goblin. It's a rush blitz. They failed the rush. They're going to spend their final reroll and only get a push out of it. Decide to follow up. Jack Goodman's going to be remain marked here by Tim Tam. All right, trying to close in this cage here. Has a mark on the front right corner, a mark on the back left corner. It's a mark on the back right corner now as well. Deadly Biscuits with 2 rerolls remaining. Three turns left in the half. The Deadly Biscuits have been unhindered their offense. They had a lot of removals, but look at this. They've also lost a lot of players as well. 2-die block on the number 1 Flesh Golem will be a push, but that Flesh Golem can stand firm, and that's exactly what it'll do. So now the Flesh Golem is going to eat another 2-die block, and this time be a push. And again, he stands firm. Stand firm, a very good skill for an anchor. Because now those are tackle zones that continue to be exerted. There's the score, 1-0. Easy does it, nothing to it. Deadly Biscuits on the board. Well done by Runbad. This game has more KOs than Mike Tyson. KOs came back for the Goodest boys. 2 come back for the Deadly Biscuits. So a little under odds there for the Deadly Biscuits. Deadly Biscuits are now going to set up their defense. They have to defend for 2 turns. Goodest boys will be on offense to start the second half, so they definitely the Deadly Biscuits definitely don't want to go into halftime with a tie ball game. Deadly Biscuits giving up the wide zones. 3 on the line, spread very, very wide. Keeping that Mighty Blow Troll in the middle linebacker position for Black Orcs on the line. Slaughter Ball. Speaking of Slaughter Ball, I love Slaughter Ball. It's really good. If you ever get an opportunity to play it, check it out. It is Blood Bowl, but handball. I have a conspiracy theory revolving around Slaughter Ball. So here's my conspiracy theory. Slaughter Ball came out. It was a Kickstarter. It came out in 2016. Right. This was like well into the end of the lifespan of the living rulebook. Right. So there hadn't been a new boxed product of Blood Bowl in forever. And the LRB was kind of at the end, right? This is the time of the LRB 6. And Slaughter Ball comes out, and it's like, oh wow, this is like Blood Bowl. I love Blood Bowl. It's like new Blood Bowl, and it's really, really good. And then Games Workshop suddenly, that same year, decides they're going to publish a boxed product of Blood Bowl. And it's basically the same game. I mean, there's some differences in the rulebook. Deep kick by the Deadly Biscuits. Wow, what a great kick for this, was probably the final drive of this half. So now the Goodest boys with no rerolls have to get all 26 spaces, end zone to end zone, down the pitch. Games Workshop releases a box product of Blood Bowl in 2016, largely unchanged. There are some changes. And then in 2020 releases the brand new version of Blood Bowl, right? So I think this is a Busters game, right? Like somebody created something that people were like, "Oh yeah, this is awesome." And then the sort of the IP holder of the cherished thing, thanks for doing the research work, guys. Now we see there's life in this after all. let's produce something out. Let's get something out the door real quick, and then we'll do the real deal a few years later. That's what I think. Anyhow, 2-9 blitz by Jack Goodman on that left defensive end gets a knockdown here, trying to get good use out of this Wraith. Bad Dog asks, have you ever heard of or played Dreadball? Dreadball was the miniatures game, right? If so, I have heard of it. I've never played it. I've seen it played. And by miniatures game, I mean like not a game with minis like Blood Bowl is, but like a game where you're using like real movement rather than spaces to move. Good pickup to a handoff to Patty Ryan, but there's going to be just 2 turns to get this ball in all the way down into the opposing end zone. The Goodest boys will have to end the next turn in scoring position, and I don't see how that happens. There's nobody down pitch that can really get into scoring position. Let's see. Can Joseph? I guess Joseph can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, he can't. I don't think the Goodest boys are going to be able to score here. I was always interested, and it was one of those things that just kind of like I was interested, and then it just disappeared one day. I like, I'm going to call them combat sports. I don't know what you call it, but like game a lot. I don't have an anvil. Welcome to the stream. Says I liked it. Had 3 places to score. Slaughter Ball's like that too. Slaughter Ball has, I think it's 6 places you can score. It's like a hexagon or an octagon or something. I think it's an octagon. And I think it's 5-on-5. It's really cool. I mean, it's Blood Bowl. It's just Blood Bowl. Turn 7 for the Goodest boys. I don't think they're going to be able to get in a scoring position here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, why don't I count it this way? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They'll be 1 shy if they went max distance. Frenzy follow-up, trying to take out Jamie Blodger, and isn't able to do it with David Kessler. One minute to go in turn 7. The Goodest boys probably going to focus on keeping their players alive, maybe trying to get some SPP. Obviously tried to get a Goblin out of this game, which I think was a good move, but aren't going to be able to score. So they're going to bring in an assist with the #1 Flesh Golem. But I don't know where the other player is going to come from. Also, just going to take the block with Jack Goodman, it looks like. Be a 1-die block with Jack Goodman. Ten seconds on the clock. Goodest boys have 5 minutes 48 seconds left on the bonus clock. Haven't spent a whole lot of bonus time. Run Bad has spent none of his bonus clock. Tried to rush into position, lost the ball. Risky rush there. Patty Ryan doesn't want to lose that werewolf for the next try, but the werewolf's going to sail out on the pitch. Remember, Deadly Biscuits have they have a bribe and 2 rerolls, but they've lost one of those rerolls. Brawler reroll here into a push. Might see a foul on Patty Ryan if he can work it out. Foul appearance roll on the Wraith. Remember, it's always a 2+ to succeed on that. A 1 means you're going to lose your block or blitz. Two-die rush blocker against Alf, the #10 lineman, gets a knockdown. And now a block on the #1 Flesh Golem. Gets the pal here. The Flesh Golem can stand firm or not. It's going to choose not to stand firm. Tried to dodge away Jamie Blodger. Dodge didn't work out, but Jamie Blodger is going to stay alive. And now, turn 8 for the Goodest boys. Final turn of this first quarter. Goodest boys will go into the second half on offense. They'll be down a touchdown. They'll be down a player at least as well. 2-die block back near this scrum. We're going to push out of this. Minute 6 left on the clock for the Goodest boys, trying to figure out how to maximize their dice. Try to get a couple blocks off before the end of the half. We're going to get a 2-die block on Jaffa Snakes here. Look at the knockdown. Has to follow up. It's not going to matter. He broke armor. Can this be a removal? It is. We'll see if that KO sticks. Goodest boys came into this game with a 12-player roster. Deadly Biscuits with 11. Going for the ball pickup, trying to pass for some SVP. It didn't work out. That will be the half. 1-0 the score. The Deadly Biscuits in the lead. They had basically clear skies all the way in the end zone with their offense. Ended up scoring with no issue. And yeah, there's that 3+ thanks to that Bloodweiser keg. The Deadly Biscuits are going to set up all 11 players here on defense to start the second half of the game. Goodest boys will be down 1 player, so it'll be 11v10 on the pitch. Not a big loss, but certainly you want to be getting as many actions as you can on a turn. I swear my new computer makes this office a couple of degrees hotter, like just straight up. Middling kick by the Deadly Biscuits. Cheering fans, we're going to get a rock thrown. To nobody? What? What? Oh, this is that new stall rule. So this kickoff event, this throw a rock. I was used to throw a rock from from the old rules. So this is a new this prayer to Nuffle, prayers to Nuffle are new to the BB 2020 rules as well. But this version of the rules actually defines stalling. So basically, the way to think about it, it's actually well defined. But the way to think about it is, if you have an opportunity to score cleanly and you don't, that's considered stalling. And with this prayer in effect, if you stall, there's a penalty to that. I've already forgotten what the penalty is. Yeah, you get knocked down if you stall. So the ball carrier, if they elect not to score and they can cleanly score, they've got to roll a d6, and on a 5+, so there's a 1/3 chance, in other words, that they're going to get knocked down, and that's the penalty for stalling. Because a common tactic in this game is to stall. If you're in the lead, you don't want to give the ball back to your opponent. You want to hold on to it and win the game. I haven't played Gutter Bowl yet. I have like the pitch for it, but I haven't played it yet. Tried to pass this, or tried to hand this ball off to David Kessler. Failed to roll. It's a 3+ to hand off the ball here. Edge 3+. Didn't spend the re-roll. And so that ball, after a failed handoff, is going to end up on the 8-yard line. Fans attack you. Yeah, I really wanted to play it. I haven't gotten around to it yet. Oh, throw teammate. Throw that goblin. Gobnob. That was your time to shine, buddy. Throw teammates may be one of my favorite actions in this whole game. Tried to get Gobnob behind the offensive formation. Unfortunately, the pass wasn't great. Oh, double skulls on the roll against Ted. He'll take that, and that'll be a turnover. Turn 10 back to the Goodest boys. So they're going to get a second opportunity here to try to claim some territory and keep this ball safe. Yeah, I really want to play Gutter Bowl. I introduced a friend of mine to Blitz Bowl, and we had a lot of fun playing Blitz Bowl. I picked up the new version of Blitz Bowl, but I haven't played it yet. I haven't put together anything. But I think what we're gonna play next is Dungeonbowl, like the new, quote unquote new, with new Dungeonbowl with the 2023 expansion. Double skulls here after the re-roll. 2 both down results into 2 skulls. Ted is going to be stunned as well. That'll be a turnover. Now a little bit of trouble. Another throw. Let's go. Let's go. Throw them. Throw that guy. Let him. I don't have an handle. Has anyone tried Dungeonbowl? I have played the old version of Dungeonbowl a lot, and I love Dungeonbowl. Dungeonbowl's a lot of fun. I haven't played the new version yet. But I did read the rules. It looks pretty much like it's the same game. Yeah, Dungeonbowl is a lot of fun. You just play. It's the first to score 1 touchdown, but it takes place in a dungeon, as you may imagine. And you line up with I think it's 6 players, might be 5, in your end zone, which is just like a line in a room. And then the rest of your players, you bring out 1 turn at a time. They come in at a random teleporter. And so the game's kind of split into sort of like 3 phases in my mind. The first phase is just getting players out, see where they show up, and trying to build some sort of unit out of that. The second phase is trying to find the ball. So the ball is hidden in a treasure chest somewhere in the dungeon. All the other treasure chests are trapped. And you gotta find the ball. And then once you find the ball, then you enter this kind of like the Blood Bowl-y sort of stage where you're trying to screen out the opponent or block them out or something. But there's no room, right? Like, and it really changes the game. Like you've got all these squares, right? In Blood Bowl, in full 11v11 Blood Bowl, you have all this room on the pitch, right? 7s is a little shorter. But in Dungeon Bowl, you're talking about rooms that are like at most 5x5. So, and even then, like there often are traps or hazards. You can do things like throw the ball off the wall and bounce it off the wall and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Like if you're in the armory, there are special rules for most unique rooms. Like the armory gives you these rolls that are meant to represent like you can pick up a sword and shield. It's a lot of fun. Turn 11 for the Goodest boys now. Lots of skulls in this half. Re-rolls this into a push. That's going to be it for the re-rolls. The Goodest boys with no re-rolls left for the game. Pressure being applied on the ball. The Goodest boys now are going to have to fall back, try to protect this ball, and it's going to inevitably end up as a scrum. Failed the 3+ dodge. Doesn't have a reroll anymore. The ball is going to scatter 1 space to the left. It's now on the 8-yard line, just inside the right wide zone. And the Deadly Biscuits are going to increase the pressure on the ball here. Yeah, Dungeonbowl's a lot of fun. And you just play until somebody scores 1 touchdown. 2-die blitz on Patty Ryan. Spends a team reroll. Did not want to take any chances with Brawler here. I think that was a smart move. Gets the push though. Deadly Biscuits down to 1 reroll. Double skulls against Patty Ryan again. And now it's just going to have to be a both. Ah! No! Nice! Nice Biscuits! No! Oh, nice Biscuits! Oh, did I even catch the replay? I was so in shock by that. Let's see. Maybe I did. Oh, there it is. Nice Biscuits. Dead. R.I.P., buddy. Turn 12 for the Goodest boys. Oh, he went in hard on that werewolf, which is not a bad play, right? Run Bad clearly recognizes these werewolves as key pieces on this roster. Really wants to get rid of those werewolves, get them knocked down, get them out of the drive, maybe even get them off the pitch. Frenzy Well, I got the knockdown. I thought it was going to be a frenzy follow. Got the knockdown there. But which is not a bad decision at all, but Nuffle was having none of it. Had to burn through 2 rerolls for that, and then killed himself. Oh, it's rough. That's rough. 25 seconds left on the clock. Gets a push on Choco Gobnobs. I'm gonna pronounce that as Choco. I know I am. 6 seconds left on the clock. Goodest boys in this scrum. 50-50 dodge on the ball. I don't know if that's really a better place for the ball. 50-50 dodge. Failed the dodge. And now, turn 12 for the Deadly Biscuits. The final turn of this third quarter. They're in the lead 1-0. Bad Dog says it's Choco like chocolate. I know. I recognize that, but so I speak Japanese. I speak Japanese, and they say Choco too, but I'm going to pronounce it, you know, the way you would pronounce it in Japanese, and then I'm going to feel silly. Good 3+ dodge by Gobnob. Gets a mark on the ball. One die block on Joseph back on the left side of the pitch here. Gets the knockdown, grabs him aside, and now the 2 die block on Jack Goodman. Gets through the foul appearance roll and gets a push out of it. 1 die blitz by Party Fling gets the knockdown on David Kessler. Great knockdown by Party Fling and good recovery. Well done by the hero. I'm sorry, did I say the hero goblin? Oh, you should have known not to rush, little buddy. Oh, 2-9 block now, and Gobnob gets a push. That's from 0 to 0 in record time. That's absolutely right. Frenzy push by David Kessler. Now David Kessler back on the ball. 4th and final quarter here begins in turn 13 for the Goodest boys. They are down by a touchdown. They have no rerolls remaining. Neither team with rerolls remaining. But I think that favors the Black Orc team. Deadly Biscuits in the lead. They just need to stop the score. Good pickup by Patty Ryan. So now the ball in the hands of one of the fastest players on the pitch. These 2 werewolves, MA at 8. We'll see if they can hang on to this ball and try to score. Two-die block on Jaffa Snakes gets a push here. So the Goodest boys trying to carve out some pitch, but they're getting aggressive on their marks, and that's going to leave some gaps when these inevitable blocks come back. So they took a mark on Tim Tam. Way forward of the ball. Failed dodge by John Goodman. It's going to be a removal, and that's a turnover. So it looks to be a 2-man player advantage currently for the Deadly Biscuits. Turn 13, and there's that 2-die block against Ted I was just about to talk about. So these blocks are being given up to this Black Orc team. Remember, neither team is heavy on the... spoke too soon. Neither team heavy on the block skill, but the Deadly Biscuits, allegedly, I allege they have the advantage with that brawler skill, but not working out here. And now, turn 14 after the null turn, the Goodest boys have an opportunity to get down pitch. They've got to keep the ball carrier safe. Got Got to take a lot of marks here. Got to prevent players from moving towards this ball carrier. I imagine this turn is going to end either with a blitz or a dodge by David Kessler. Well, I'm going to dodge with David Kessler. 3 die. Oh, no. 3 die. Oh, good regen. 3 die rush blitz into Trip Skulls. And then gets removed for his trouble. Unfortunate turn of events for the Goodest boys. They do still have possession of the ball on the opposing 12-yard line, though. I've never seen so many skulls in my life. In my life! Double skulls for the Black Elf team, and now the Goodest boys can score in turn 15 unless they think they can stall it till turn 16 and draw this game. Wow! I'm speechless. Cobblestore BB says 0 reroll on either side Blood Bowl. That's the real Blood Bowl. Goodest boys are going to park this ball on the 24-yard line. Let's see if anybody can get there. Can anybody get there? So Jamie Blodger can take a mark. Can he push anybody to get there? I don't think so. I'd mentioned this a few weeks back, but we've been playing sort of the history of Blood Bowl, starting with first edition, and it's been a lot of fun watching the evolution of the game, just from a game design perspective. You're like, oh, so that's why they added rushes, or oh, that's why tackle zones work this way, because it's obvious, because you can play the game preceding it and see it, just how broken. Maybe broken's a strong word, but you can see just how dramatically different the game is without those rules and refinements. Two-die block by David Kessler gets the armor break. Can he get a 2 SPP out of this for a casualty? Cannot. Just gets the stun. I think he might be good with the marks he has. So it looked like the Goodest boys took the block. I don't think this block. I don't think that block was worth it myself. Keep that tie up. He decided to go for it. I think fair enough. Coach's prerogative. See if he can end up scoring here in turn 16. Both standing results. It's going to do nothing for the Deadly Biscuits. That Flesh Golem is going to keep that troll marked. See if Jamie Blodger can perform some heroics here. I think he's the only real threat on the pitch. There he goes. One dodge, failed the second. Still needed 2 rushes. It didn't work out, and this game's going to end in a draw. Well, I shouldn't say it's going to end in a draw. We could get a timeout. But the Goodest boys will score here on turn 16 and tie this ball game. Very well done. there. no KOs back for the Goodest boys, but the KO comes back for the Deadly Biscuits. So there's the score. Well done. Bad Dog praying for the throw teammate one turn. Bad Dog rooting for the offense. So the Goodest boys look to be setting up. Oh, I was getting a little scared. Looks like they're setting up in a proper anchor, but they need to screen out the end zone. Bad Dog graciously lowers the rush failure rate from 900% to a paltry, a measly, a tiny, eensy beansy 99%. So 3 have to go on the line. Everybody else screening out the end zone in case of the one-turn touchdown. Cobblestone BB's demanding death. I don't have an anvil, says I feel conflicted. Throw teammate touchdowns are awesome, but so would an eaten goblin. I'll take either. So if there's not a timeout here, then it's going to have to be a throw teammate score. So we'll see what happens. Gobnob is the one that's in position to score. It's a high kick. He'll absolutely take this. Yeah. And the good catch with no rerolls. That's great. 2-die block by Jaffa Steaks. That's the pal. That frees up the troll. Crunch Cream's golden. The handoff. Good handoff. And now it's time for the throw. Throw the... No! This is not the time to be stupid! Oh, no! Crunch Cream's golden scratches his head. He's like, what am I supposed to do? What do you want from me? What am I supposed to do? You got the ball. You go. Go get the touch score. Go get the home down run. 1-1, not so cold after all. 1-1's going to be the final of this game. A draw ball game. That was a lot of fun. Well, the Deadly Biscuits were hoping to take the top spot with a win tonight, but instead they'll take second place. That is not bad at all. 2-2-0 is their record. Remember, the first place team from each division at the end of week 7 will advance to the top 4, as will the highest ranking second place team between the 3 divisions. That will be the top 4. They will be seeded randomly. So we're getting into the nitty gritty now. The divisions are starting to stratify, and those top 2 slots are going to be very, very critical for these teams. The top 4 teams will go into a single elimination bracket. The 2 finalists will be invited back to our championship competition. That's the Blood Bowl Invitational at the end of the season. That'll be at right after our Dungeon Bowl. The winner of the Dungeon Bowl will not only be crowned the Dungeon Bowl champion, but they will advance in the upper bracket of the Blood Bowl, while the runner-up will advance in the lower bracket. So still a lot more Blood Bowl to get through. That sounds like it's not fun. To watch, to enjoy. And I'm excited to watch all of it and participate and play and share it. Let's take a look at the schedule before we leave for the evening. All right, 3 games were played tonight. I have no idea what happened with the other 2 games, but our next game is going to be tomorrow night, Friday, September 6th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's going to be the Bone Breakers versus our Grudges with Nuffle, Galeshi versus Eric. That's Black Orcs versus Dwarves. That's tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -4. And then we have a game for Monday, September 9th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's The White Skull Windbreakers versus Kind Peacocks. Doug the Minotaur versus a Kind Sir. That's Orcs versus Imperial Nobility. That'll be a fun one to watch. 3 more games have yet to be scheduled. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Old Gamer Mike, I have no idea if the other games are done or not, but if not, they're probably pretty close to it. Hank Range says Tizzle Bizzle game's still live, 0-0 with a quarter left. You know what? We'll head on over to that before we end. Why not? Why not? Let's just see what happens. Tizzle Bizzle's Division C. I guess I don't have to go into the division. I can just go to the league live. All right, let's see what's going on in this game, shall we? Tizark Savage Boys versus Teen Wolf and Friends. Looks like Teen Wolf and Friends is wait. Oh, I thought it was Black Orcs and Necro again. No, it's regular Orcs versus Necro. Oh, Rundad with the raid. Thank you very, very much. Very kind of you. That was a fun game to watch. Sorry about all those skulls. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Team Wolf and Friends with the ball on the opposing 4-yard line. They have a full quarter to go here. It does happen. I counted up my game. I could have. I'll preface this by I certainly could have played better, but in my game, I had six snake eyes, and 2 of those I would have won the game on. But you know, I got lazy. I was like, oh, it's a 35 out of 36. It'll be fine. It wasn't fine. What's up, Iron Cynic? Welcome to the stream. Ball advances with that fast werewolf, Michael J. Fox, all the way down to the opposing 16-yard line with the half cage set up in that left wide zone. Oh no. Oh. Runbat infected this game with skulls. This was on purpose. This is biological warfare. Well, it's not really biological. This is polyhedral warfare. Turn 13 for the Savage Boys. Old Gamer Mike says, somebody skulls though this week. At least I got a draw this time. Was trying to do it. Was trying to, in fact, score in the first half, but killed that. Yeah, I mean, I had a blast watching that game. Thank you guys for playing. It was a lot of fun to participate and watch it. It was very exciting. I really enjoyed it. And like you said, it's a point, right? You get the draw, you get a point. That's certainly worth it. Tizoke Savage Boys on the clock have spent none of their bonus clock. 50 seconds left on the turn timer. They're going to take the rush blitz on the ball carrier. 1-die blitz into the pal. They're going to get the knockdown on Michael J. Fox. We'll see where the ball scatters. 9+ breaks armor here. Ball's going to scatter onto that sideline precariously. On the 16 on the left sideline now. I was rooting for the one turn. You always got to root for the one turn touchdown. Well, I guess that's not true. I was rooting for the throw teammate, but also if the goblin got eaten, that would have been pretty awesome too. Turn 14 for Teen Wolf and Friends. You know, sometimes you're hungry. Sometimes you just got to eat something, right? Your blood sugar gets low. You got to look out for your health. And sometimes you got to eat a teammate. Minute 34 now in turn 14 for Teen Wolf and Friends. Tie ball game. They've lost the ball on the rush blitz. Another ball's on the left sideline. Teen Wolf and Friends with no rerolls remaining either. Well, Gamer Mike says, I messed up placing the kicker after I hit okay. I put him on the sideline. Yeah. I mean, if I had a nickel every time I've done that. So kickers, when you set up in Blood Bowl, if you have a kicker, the kicker cannot go on the line of scrimmage, and the kicker cannot go in either wide zone either. These are all off limits. The kicker can only go here. Well, the kicker can go on the line or in the wide zones, but if the kicker's on the line of scrimmage or in a wide zone, you don't actually get to use the kick skill. There's actually a bug in Blood Bowl 2 where if you set up your kicker, I'm going to call it illegally. You know what I mean. If you set up your kicker illegally on your first drive, then Blood Bowl 2 would pick another player to kick the ball for you. But, took the blitz with Jason Bateman, but rolled into a skull. No, Jason Bateman! Jason Bateman, no! Who's going to make Teen Wolf 3? That's a dead wolf. And that's not the replay, but you know what? In honor of Jason Bateman. There you go. That's what a touchdown would have looked like, Jason Bateman. Oh, that's a huge loss for Teen Wolf and Friends. These werewolves are very, very important to this roster. They're also expensive. But anyway, yeah, there was a bug in Blood Bowl 2 where if you set up your kicker illegally, the game would choose a different player to kick the ball for you. But then that player would be the person to kick the ball. Wow, another injury. That player would be the player to kick the ball for the rest of the game. So you would never get to use your kicker for the rest of the game. Under a minute to play for the Tizark Savage Boys. Big losses here for Teen Wolf and Friends as the game clock winds down. Old Gamer Mike says, seems like he needs new dice. Don't we all? Good pickup by Vurak, the weakling. The number 9 Orc lineman, rookie lineman. Look, man, those rushes 2+. So I'm gonna give you a little secret. I majored in math. 2+ on a die roll. That succeeds. Never. It fails 900% of the time. That's just math. That's facts. Iron Cynic says, not Jason Bateman. He's a national treasure. Valerie, Arrested Development, Ozarks. Man, I love Arrested Development. I haven't seen Ozarks just because, like, I hear great things about it and I should watch it, but I'd already watched Breaking Bad and I didn't want, Breaking Bad 2. But I'm not even sure if that's a fair assessment because I've never seen it. So I don't know. Turn 15 for Teen Wolf and Friends, desperately trying to find a way to recover this ball and score. Blitz by Michael J. Fox. Two-die blitz into a pal. Has to follow up due to frenzy. Don't do it. Don't push onto that ball. Pushes onto the ball. Was hoping for a more favorable scatter. Maybe it would come out to the rear. But no, it's going to come out right next to Argok knee breaker. He's going to go for the pickup. 50-50 pickup. That's going to fail. And the ball is going to bounce one more space toward the end zone. It's on the 24-yard line. Turn 15 for the Tizork Savage boys. El Mi Burrito, welcome to the stream. So this is just that kind of game. I think this is a week for this is just that kind of games. All right, you know what? I'll check out Ozarks. I think it's time I checked it out. Did I block on Michael J. Fox? This is just going to be a push here. Pushes Michael J. Fox off to the right, making that ball ever more difficult to recover. Good 3+ dodge and a rush by Borak, the journeyman, to take a mark on Michael J. Fox. So Michael J. Fox, well, I'm not sure what the mark. Oh, he wants the assist. Boy, oh boy. If ever there was a time to pray to Nuffle, this would be it. Turn 16. For Teen Wolf and friends, can they get a win out of this game? I think Tizzle Bizzle has done just about everything they could to make this as difficult of a score as possible. Bad Dog cheering for the defense, hoping these Orcs can stop this Necro team. That's right, sixes absolutely happen. Minute 25 left on the clock. Copperstorm BB rooting for this Necro offense. Wants to see Team Wolf and Friends pull off this victory. One die block in that wide zone is going to get a push. He just needs 3 sixes. Failed dodge by Molly Ringwraith. Turn 16 for the Tizork Savage Boys. I don't think they're going to be able to score either. That will be the game. Another draw. This time a 0-0 draw. Elden Ring says I should have gone for it. When you snub Nuffle, when Nuffle says, just ask me for triple sixes, you don't snub your nose at that. You accept the gift. You say, you know what? I will put my faith in you. Nuffle, take the wheel. Skull's going to end this game 0-0. The score, that will be it. Well done by both coaches in that final quarter. That was fun. I'm glad we caught that final quarter. That was fun. Iron Cynic says Nuffle hates us all. So after that, the Tizark Savage Boys are going to remain in second place. They're 1-4-0, one of 3 remaining undefeated teams, and all 3 of those teams naturally at the top of the list. Congratulations, both coaches. That was a fun game, fun quarter to watch. And you know what? Let's go to the schedule again before we leave. Let's do it one more time. Coming up next, tomorrow night, Friday, September 6th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -4. We have the Bone Breakers versus Our Grudge is with Nuffle. That's Galeshi versus Eric. Black Orcs versus Dwarves. And then we have a game this Monday, September 9th at 8:30 p.m. EDT. That will be League Champion Doug the Minotaur and his White Skull Windbreakers versus a Kind Sirs, Kind Peacocks, Orcs versus Imperial Nobility. 3 more games left to be played in this week number 5 of the Dungeon Bowl, and when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club, here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. Where else? Name one other game, I dare you, where you can roll 73 dice and they all end up the same face. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. Until tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening.